Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHONJ Joe Giudice begs President Trump for pardon. Former RHONJ House husband Joe Giudice is begging President Donald Trump for a pardon. He spent 41 months in prison for bankruptcy fraud and was eventually forced to leave America. The father of four now lives and works in the Bahamas. So what exactly did he say to the president? Keep reading for more details. It has been 5 years since RHONJ star Joe Giudice was released from prison and deported back to Italy. For his family, it was terrifying as they had been fighting for him to stay in America. He was still married to Teresa Giudice, who was raising their 4 children in New Jersey. She had also served time for their fraud convictions, but for less than a year. When Joe was sent to Italy, his wife and daughters traveled to see him, but he was asked for a divorce. It was clear that his time behind bars had changed everyone and caused a lot of distance. Now in the Bahamas, Joe's girls can come and see him whenever they want. Plus, he has started his own business endeavors. He promotes them vigorously on social media and even had a short merch drop. Now he is desperate to return to America, so he is begging President Donald Trump for a pardon. Joe shared a slide of snaps, old and new, to illustrate how important his family is to him. He then added that he just wanted to be able to travel and see his girls again. The former RHONJ star finished his message off by stating how much he respected the president. It makes sense that he would go this route, as a pardon was just granted to reality stars Todd and Julie Chrysler. The couple was serving a collective 19 years behind bars, but their daughter worked tirelessly to get them released. Savannah Chrysler campaigned with President Trump and did not stop until Todd and Julie were home. This is a very real possibility that Joe Giudice could get a pardon from President Trump. He was willing to listen to Savannah Chrysler's pleas over her parents and respected her family. Therefore, he ultimately pardoned them and could not wait to get them released within 24 hours. The RHONJ family has struggled with Joe being away, and he is showing his respect to President Trump. That could bode well for him, and many of his followers felt very good about him getting a pardon. If he can pardon the Chryslers, he can pardon Joe. Joe has paid the price. Please bring him home. This is one pardon I can get on board with. He received support from his ex-wife, as well as their daughters. Of course, some followers felt that this could not happen and questioned why Joe did not become a citizen when he had the chance. These questions could be asked for days, but now all Joe wants is to be able to come and go as he pleases. Do you believe that Joe has a chance at returning? And would this make for a good RHONJ spinoff? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. In a dramatic twist straight out of a Real Housewives season finale, Joe Giudice, ex-husband of Teresa Giudice and former Real Housewives of New Jersey regular, has taken his latest legal saga public in an unexpected way. From across the Atlantic in the quiet Italian village he now calls home, Joe is making headlines again. This time, he's reaching across political lines, past oceans, and over prison walls, begging former President Donald Trump for a presidential pardon. Yes, you read that right. Joe Giudice is pleading for a lifeline from the very man known for throwing both curveballs and second chances, Trump himself. From Bravo to broken borders. Once a flashy family man with a booming construction business, flashy cars, and a penchant for shouting over Sunday dinner, Joe Giudice's world came crashing down when federal prosecutors brought down the hammer. Alongside then-wife Teresa, Joe was convicted on multiple counts of bankruptcy fraud and conspiracy to commit mail-in wire fraud in 2014. While Teresa served her 11-month sentence and returned to RHONJ as a single mom and a national tabloid fascination, Joe's fate was far grimmer. After serving his 41-month sentence, he was handed over to ICE due to his non-citizen status, something viewers and even Joe himself claimed he didn't fully understand until it was too late. Despite having lived in the U.S. since childhood, he was not a U.S. citizen, and under federal law, that made him deportable. And deported he was to Italy, a country he hadn't lived in since he was a baby. The Bravo cameras stopped rolling. Teresa eventually moved on. And Joe? He vanished into the Italian countryside, reduced to virtual appearances and grainy Instagram lives, trying to stay connected to his daughters Gia, Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana from afar. But he never gave up hope. A desperate letter and a public plea. In an open letter released today, full of emotion, regret, and a surprisingly poetic tone, Joe Giudice made a direct appeal to former President Trump. Dear President Trump, my name is Giuseppe Joe Giudice. I am a father, an immigrant, a man who made mistakes, but I am not a danger to this country. I beg you, from the bottom of my heart, give me a chance to come home. Give me a chance to live again, not just for me, but for my daughters who need their father. The plea, posted on social media and sent through official channels, reads more like a father's cry than a celebrity's PR stunt. Joe admits his guilt, takes full responsibility, and even praises Teresa for raising their daughters without him. But the core of his message is a direct appeal to Trump's brand of patriotism, emphasizing family values, second chances, and fighting against what he called a cruel and outdated immigration system. Joe's team has also pointed to President Trump's previous pardons, including those for well-known figures like Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, and even political allies like Roger Stone, as evidence that his case, too, deserves reconsideration. Trump and the Housewives connection. Now, you might ask, why Trump? Well, the former president has surprisingly deep roots in the world of reality TV, and even deeper ties to the Bravo universe than you might expect. He was famously close to former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa Vanderpump, and RHONY alum Ramona Singer attended Mar-a-Lago events during his presidency. Plus, Teresa herself appeared on Trump's Celebrity Apprentice in 2012, earning respect from Trump for her resilience and business acumen. It's a long shot, said one anonymous White House aide from Trump's inner circle. But stranger things have happened in Trump's America. Some political commentators believe the move could be a calculated one. If Trump were to grant the pardon, it could boost his image among Italian-American voters, reality TV fans, and those who believe in immigration reform. Plus the media attention. Unbeatable. Daughters rally behind dad. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching part of this saga is the support Joe has received from his daughters, especially Giudice, who has blossomed into a powerful advocate for her father. The Rutgers law student has taken to TikTok, Instagram, and even mainstream news outlets to amplify her father's story. My dad made mistakes, yes, Gia said in a recent interview. But he's paid for them. He's paid with time, with reputation, and now with being separated from his family. Isn't enough? Gia, alongside her sisters, even launched a petition titled Bring Joe Home, which has gained nearly 500,000 signatures in less than a week. The girls have also reached out to immigration reform groups and legal experts, hoping to bolster their father's case with professional backing and public sentiment.